But all right, my love, it is time for episode 8 of the Strawberry Milk Podcast Quick Sip Review Series. And today
Woo!
we're talking about Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. But
Yay!
we're going to be doing it a little differently.
Just a little bit.
You guys already know on this show, I don't know why my voice, like all the air left my mouth when I
On
said
this
that right now.
show.
In this house. But anyway, we go over the statistics of a movie. We give you its initial like critic score. We give you how much it made. We give you the actors and all that. Then we give you a rundown, pros and cons, final score, a little bit of banter in between.
Well, just a little bit.
But today, my lovely co-host is going to be going down all of those things.
All right. Well, Attack of the Clones came out on May 16th, 2002 in the U.S., which is, the only place that matters.
It's old enough to drink now. What type of drink do you think this movie would get?
It would ask for something stupid, like a shot of rum.
Yeah, no, I could see that. This is definitely the shot of rum of the prequels.
Honestly, though, it's only a year after my birthday. That's all I'm saying. So it has a 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, and 87% Google user reviews.
What do the people on Google know, though?
Everything. It's Google.
They do know everything.
It was directed by George Lucas, which is a shocker. I know nobody's ever heard of him.
Wait, isn't he the guy that made Star Wars?
Yeah, he's a real underground kind of guy. Indiana Jones, if you've heard of that one.
I'm not a fan of old indie.
Either, really. Fun music, though.
I really hope the new one bombs. I just fucking hate Harrison Ford.
We know, my love.
God, I hate that fucking man.
Anyway, screenplay was also by George Lucas and by Jonathan Hales, who had his part in The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones. Never heard of it. The Scorpion King, my God, and Loophole, which I thought was a fun name for a movie.
After listening to that impressive lineup of stuff that dude's done, it's impossible to see how this movie did so bad.
Don't I know it? Produced by Rick McCallum, fun name. Cinematography, David Tattersall. You guys remember him? He was also the cinematographer for the last one. He's also the cinematographer for The Green Mile, which I thought was a pretty popular movie, wasn't it?
It was a really good movie. The first time I watched that, it was like an entire, like, little kid me was trying my best to comprehend the underlying themes of the movie.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Episodes 1 and 3 of the prequels. Speed Racer, which I say, okay, Speed Racer every time we're driving.
I mean, honestly, I liked the Speed Racer movie. It did terribly.
Oh.
At least I remember it doing terribly. But Speed Racer is one of those things where I'm surprised I'm into it, but how can you not be?
Fair, okay. And Death Note, which we discussed last time, and The Foreigner, which we discussed last time. It was edited by Ben Burt, a fun name.
Oh wait, The Foreigner? No, we didn't discuss that last time. Is that the one with Jackie Chan?
I don't know.
I think, yeah, no, that is the one with Jackie Chan. I remember when that movie was being advertised, I was like, oh, I wonder who's playing, or I wonder what it's going to be about, and it shows him, and I was like, oh, that's really it's kind of racist.
I love Jackie Chan, though.
No, I do love me some Jackie
Shanghai
Chan.
Nights, Shanghai Noon, hello.
Oh, I like his Chinese films.
Oh, there you go.
Some of them are pretty dope.
I like his Chinese films.
No, he's got an extensive, like, little filmography, and honestly, I kind of dig those old kung fu movies.
Elitist.
It's not elitist. I didn't say they're better.
Elitist.
My love, read the things.
All right. The music was by John Williams, which I know that's shocking.
Oh, Johann W.
And the runtime's 142 minutes, and the budget was 115 million against the box office earnings of 653.8 billion, which is a staggering amount of money.
I would literally kill for that. You know what? Them Squid Games, I'd be killing everybody the first night. I'd kill until someone killed me for that much money.
Feral.
Absolutely feral.
Starring Ewan McGregor, woo, Natalie Portman, also woo, Hayden Christensen, woo, his first appearance in the Star Wars
and boy
storyline.
Does it show.
But
more on that later once we get into the actual breaking
Ian McDermott,
down.
hello, welcome
back. The Emperor.
Samuel L. Jackson.
The Grape Jedi.
Sir Christopher Lee. Anthony Daniels, Kenny Baker, and Frank Oz.
I heard that because I'm like listening to the backlog of T-Pain's podcast.
Yeah.
They were talking about Star Wars, and he was like Samuel L. Jackson with the grape lightsaber.
With the grape lightsaber.
Howled in laughter.
My goodness. Oh my God.
Huh.
Sorry, I just clicked on Anthony Daniels. Apparently he's a mime artist.
Like a mime? Like help me, I'm trapped in the box mime?
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to be to get those movements down as 3PO.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
But anyway, my love, what do you want to talk about specifically with this movie? I do know that episode 2 is very much more of your type of movie when it comes to the prequels.
It is.
And I think that serves for our like our personalities, right? How I'd say we're equal fans of one, right?
Yeah.
But I really like the climatic clashes that happen in 3. I
Yeah.
like seeing the culmination of, Palpatine's chess game, right? But I feel like 2 kind of allows you to take a breath, as any, you know,
Yeah.
middle entry into a
My
series
thing
should be. It
is
should be the breath before the long exhale that is the conclusion of a movie. You know what I mean? Or
okay.
a movie series, right? Because I feel like, it focuses a bit more on the politics, right? We do get to see some of the most beautiful shots of nature in the
Gorgeous.
Star Wars series. I would argue that while I don't really care for Attack of the Clones, it really has the best nature B-roll shots out of the
It
prequels.
has the best Padme fits.
Yes, it does. And that's going to be a whole thing later when
And
we
it's
get
so
into
cute seeing
their
them
entire
fall in
interaction.
love. It's a fanfic in a
It's
movie.
cute seeing them fall in love, but fucking hell,
I
is it just
love
ruined
going to
every time
Camino.
Anakin has to use his dialogue.
I love going to Camino. I love this like the voices of the Kaminoans. I think they sound really cool
Yeah,
how they talk. I like Jango Fett and Boba Fett. When I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, it's Boba Fett."
my boy Tamora Morrison.
Oh my god, awesome!
Morrison. Sorry, I said
It was so cool. I love the movie. I think it's funny. It's witty. We get to see some mad bants between
Wait,
Anakin and Obi
witty?
Wan.
What's witty about it?
I call it aggressive negotiations.
Sarcastic.
Yeah, I've come here to rescue you, Master. Good job. It's witty. It's dry. It's funny.
All right, yeah.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
doubling down. Yeah.
All right, doubling down, tripling down
Yup.
either. Let me see. Let
Yup.
me flip this card over for you. 22, you busted.
What?
It's blackjack. You doubled down. You busted.
I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah. You now have to write the next 3 episodes yourself.
I'm not going to.
If we writ the episodes,
Wrote.
written, same thing to me.
Uh,
Just use my wits.
you know,
Anyway,
you know, you know, you know. I
honestly,
rescind my hosting.
the opening sequence, right? We get to see, Padme. She's in full-fledged senator mode. The Queen of Naboo only serves for what, like a year or two, or some
There's like a
shit.
couple terms.
No, they have a limited number of terms, but the
Yes.
term itself, I believe, is only like a year or two or something like that.
Which she was democratically elected. We stand a democracy.
We do. However, she respected her planet's traditions and recognized that someone who is in a seat of power for too long gets complacent or cannot deal with problems effectively.
Yeah.
Which is a huge criticism that some people have of the Jedi Council, as well as other characters have in the Star Wars universe that's
I believe it.
elaborated on in like the comics and books and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
They elaborate on the Jedi Council itself. I think Count Dooku, before he turned, talked about his qualms with Master Yoda over holding the main seat of the head of the Jedi Council for so long, specifically being anything that's lived that long, right? It's like only it's a matter of fact that they'd have some sort of, well, I've seen it all type of attitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I've been around the block. I know what's up. Nope. There could be something different every single
Your own
time.
hubris, bro.
Right. But I do like that there's that kind of stark difference between Padme's character,
Yeah.
right? And like the Jedi Council and everybody. Because I do feel like this is Padme and Anakin's movie. You feel me?
It is.
More so, I think it would be a lot. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's just go back to going down throughout the movie. We get to see the explosion.
Oh.
What the fuck? Oh, my Yeti bottle fell. We get to see the explosion. We get to see that this is in fact a time of turmoil in the galaxy, but it's Star Wars. When is the fucking
Of
galaxy
sneaky snoops.
not in turmoil? If it's not separatists, it's the Empire. If it's not the Empire, it's the First Order. If it's not the First Order, it's whatever the fuck is in the outside of the galaxy that they try
Yeah.
to keep out, that apparently is really horrific. There's a lot of horrifying things in the Star Wars lore. But anyway,
Yeah, it's not a good time.
the first element of cringe comes up in this movie when we see Anakin and Obi-Wan reunited with Padme for the first
Annie?
time. she kept it, she kept it professional, right?
Yeah.
She's there, she's a senator, she's there on business. She needs to take
And
care
she
of
doesn't
work.
even want them to be her security detail. Like, she's literally like, "I don't need security," which she does.
But let me tell you,
Imagine almost folding to slugs.
listen. Being raised in a strict household the way Anakin was talking back to Obi-Wan,
Oh,
holy shit, dude, my mouth would have been across the room on the
and
floor.
it's like he literally he was being so sassy for what? Like, for what? What was he doing?
Well, it's teen angst, right? So I don't think that Hayden Christensen is a bad actor. In fact, he's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
Like full nostalgia, everything like aside, I do like how he portrays his characters.
definitely.
And it just so happens that people in our age group know him more for Anakin. Like as a kid,
Annie.
I loved the Star Wars movies. I
Me
loved this
too.
movie. Like I said, it's a bad movie, but it's not a bad watch. The faults of this movie are entirely on its directive staff. The actors are doing their best with the limited amount of freedoms and dialogue and all that other shit
Yeah.
that they had to work with. Like you see the X scripts, like the infamous "I hate sand" line, right? You see
Mhm.
what he took out, right? Where he elaborates on why he hates the fucking sand
Yeah.
because it reminds him of the literal, like, because he's only like what, 19 in the film,
Yeah, he's a
right? So
baby.
literally, because they got him at 10, right?
Mhm.
So for half of his life at that point, he was a fucking slave from the womb to what he thought would have been the tomb.
Yeah.
A slave on a planet with 3 suns,
Yep.
being told what to do and beaten by some blue fat fuck flying greasy ass alien,
Yep.
right? And racing in like death defying pod races and getting his shit mixed by a
I
dog.
mean, but they had a cool house.
Like, if you ever think about his beef with Sebulba the dog, that was a grown ass
That's a
man
grown ass
beefing with
man.
a 9 or 10 year old
And
child.
folding.
Yeah, beefing and folding with a 9 to 10 year old child simply because he's a slave and he races. You know what I mean? And so like, just George Lucas, what the fuck were you thinking? How much dope were you smoking to
Enough.
where he made the type of choices for this movie, dialogue wise and cinematic wise? Because outside of like the beautiful like nature shots and the
Yeah.
stills and everything that everybody always puts in the edit, I just really feel like he fumbled the fucking bag with this movie. I don't know what it is. Like the dialogue seems to go too
It's
fast.
because it's because the third one, like you said earlier, is like it's like more of a dramatic like culmination of events. And the
Yeah.
first one is nostalgia is the strongest in Phantom Menace, and it has Darth Maul, and it has Qui-Gon.
But look at the choreography, look at the music, look at how that movie is shot and the dialogue within it, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, all the hate and everything that I give the original trilogy, I do feel like they have kind of the most thought out dialogue, right?
Yeah.
The comedic stills that everybody picks from every movie aside, like every movie's going to have its flaw, right? Like the original trilogy has some of the best dialogue, but I do feel like the prequels have some of the most powerful ones, well, at least when it's coupled with their scenes and what those scenes actually mean
Yeah.
for the history of, like the Skywalker saga, right?
Yeah.
But with episode 2, everything just feels so rushed and everything feels like a secondhand thought. Like, remember when Jango Fett is talking to the changeling
Yes.
and he's like, and remember, there can be
No
no mistake.
mistakes this
Like, it
time.
seems so rushed. Like, it seems like either they couldn't get them to turn around or like someone was forgetting their cue. But it would make sense if he went, and remember, there can be no mistakes this time. You know what I mean? Like, not that dramatic of a pause, but he just like blurted
Well,
it
for a
out.
movie, the budget was really small.
Oh, this time, no. It
In
was,
2002?
yeah.
I don't know. It seems very small to me.
Well, for what they were trying to accomplish, I don't think it was that small because with the first Pirates of the Caribbean came out when?
2002 or 1. Yeah.
No, it wasn't
Yeah.
2001. No, we're not looking that up right now, my love. We're in the middle of an
What? You
episode.
asked me a
I know,
question.
because I thought you'd know it, Miss Self-Proclaimed Pirates Lore Extraordinaire.
I do love pirates.
But anyway, right? A lot of the dialogue just seems too rushed or it just seems too unnatural. It is nice to see Anakin and Padme fall in love throughout the movie, but
Yeah.
God, is it fucking awkward to watch.
Yeah. Well, I
Holy
mean,
shit, dude.
also it's what's weird is how quickly it is like shifts from one moment to the next.
Yeah,
Like his mom is murdered and tortured. Like in the
absolutely
middle
just
of it.
absolutely just
And then
just
they're like,
decimated.
doo doo doo, let's go to Naboo. Like what?
I mean, I do feel like him rescuing Shmi from the Tuscan camp would be a much more powerful scene if they gave, the dialogue, like I keep saying,
Yeah.
a bit more thought outness, if you will. And I think it should have been a longer sequence. It should have been a longer scene. And I know they were trying to keep it, PG or whatever the fuck the rating is, but we should have seen the slaughter of the
We
Tuscans.
should have seen some rage.
Yeah, you know?
Like it should have been something that's like, whoa, like he looks like Darth Vader right
And
now.
I feel like a lot of the flack that these actors got for, performing in these movies comes from the fact that they weren't allowed to flesh out their characters as much as they could on screen. Like throughout the entire prequel trilogy, like we already know Anakin's going to turn into Darth Vader, but
Yeah.
there's all these scenes that are supposed to show the allusion to his hate, the allusion to what he's going to become, and the fact that that hate's always kind of been in him,
Yeah.
and everyone along his journey, including Obi-Wan, just kind of failed him. You
Yeah.
don't really see that to the third one when he murders Count Dooku.
Yeah, it's true.
Like even after murdering all the Tusken Raiders, it's just like,
And he's trying. Like you can tell that Hayden Christensen is trying to convey that.
well, he's very much trying, but then remember, Anakin throughout his entire time in the Jedi Order has always had the fact that he's the chosen one because he is the chosen one. It's
It's
not
true.
Luke. He is the chosen
It's
one,
true.
right? They always hold that against him. Everything that he does, it's kind of like one of those things where like you bring a grade to your parent and they're like, "Well, yeah, you're supposed to do that." Well, yeah, you know what you're supposed to do, but it's still nice to be told like "good job"
Yeah.
or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get it. Well,
God,
my love.
I would hate when mom would do that.
Well, moving on though.
Moving on,
What's your favorite scene?
my favorite scene is the one where these birds stop screaming.
That's they're just saying
The
hi.
joys of podcasting in your living room.
Woo!
Oh my. But anyway, I would have to say that my favorite scene, honestly, it's gonna have to be. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know if I have a favorite scene.
mine's the picnic.
Yeah, the picnic is very nice, but it's also still kind of cringy.
I love it. The vibes, the meadow, the dress, the throwing grapes at each other. It's cute.
Hmm.
I love it. I love a cute moment.
You know what? No, my favorite scene is gonna have to be their entire interaction while they're at the river estate.
Yes.
The river estate, I think, is what gives the strongest. I don't know. It just moves the B plot of them falling. I don't know. I'm not even going to call it a B plot because the B plot is the creation of the clone army.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that it moves the entire C plot of them falling in love along the most. And can we just say, what the fuck was Padme thinking? Sir, like wearing the Cunt Slayer
Ah,
9000 when she's trying to break up
I
with someone she's not
know.
even with. Like she's trying to tell Anakin,
I
I'm not interested.
know.
Babe, if you tried to tell me anything, like I think that we need to take this direction, right?
Yeah.
Or like, well, like if you were trying to say, like, I think that you fawn over me too much and you're
Yeah.
wearing that dress,
Right.
I
Collarbones out.
I will still be responsible for what
Oh.
I do to you.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
I gotta find that
I
dress for you.
also really, really like obviously the rescue. I've said in air quotes scene.
Oh yeah, the arena scene.
Yeah, that
Th-
one's cool.
That
I love that Padme. Like even
what
as a little kid, I loved that Padme was also badass. Like yes,
yeah,
she's
she's
beautiful.
resourceful.
Yes, like she is like she was a queen. Yes, but she's also politically savvy. She's smart. She is clever, witty again, and
Yes.
she is able to protect herself. She doesn't need a man. She doesn't need Jedi or Jedi Padawan. She has herself. And I'm like, "Go girl, slay queen." I love it.
Senator, you mean, not queen.
Slay senator.
Slay senator,
I
right?
love her. I just
She
you know what?
honestly, she's
That's
the
my favorite.
MVP.
That's my favorite part of the movie. Padme. Padme's my favorite part
Yeah,
of the
no,
movie.
she is definitely the MVP of this
Most valuable
movie.
Padme.
And yeah, most valuable Padme, most valuable Portman. That's what they should call her instead of
Yeah.
Natalie, right? Um, but yeah, it just I don't know. This thing just it falls flat. There's so much greatness that could have been had. Like it could have been a hit for hit for hit of the entire
True.
trilogy. But honestly, on top of right, on top of getting through the Last Jedi, for me, it's getting through Attack of the Clones.
I really enjoy watching
It's a
it.
good movie. The graphics are good, but like the dialogue is just shit. I keep saying it. Like even look to how they interact. Like obviously Samuel L. Jackson is just collecting a paycheck throughout the entire series. There was not
Yeah.
an ounce of effort from that man in the
He doesn't need
fucking
it. He
entirety of
doesn't
the
need it.
movie. Like remember when he first meets the clones and he's like, "Sir, we have 7 commando squads standing by," and he just fucking looks at him and points in a random direction, right?
Yep.
That's kind of on par for what actually happened, like lore wise. Both battles of Geonosis were fucking terrible. It was a
Poor
complete
bastards.
logistical clusterfuck. They
Yeah.
lost so many clones. They lost so many Jedi. It was terrible.
I have a question,
Yeah.
and this is kind of weird,
Do you smell
but
burning?
I do.
What is burning?
Probably something outside.
I hold on. Let's pause here. And we're back. Sorry, someone is really throwing down on the grill out there. But you know what? By the smell, I can tell that they're overcooking their food.
Nah, nah.
It honestly, it smells like burnt bread. Like
We
that's why
like
I thought
bread.
I was like, did you put like toast in? And if you got the toast or something,
No.
I was like, damn, baby, like that shit extra crispy. Turn that bitch up to 11.
Yeah.
But anyway,
My question, it was why is it called Attack of the Clones?
because the clones are attacking the separatists, like, and it's just a grab. You can't call it Attack of the Droids. They'd be like, we've already seen the droids,
No,
right?
yeah, but like even as a kid, I was like, why is it Attack of the Clones? The clones aren't attacking until the next movie.
No, the clones are attacking in this one because they're attacking the robots.
Well, yeah, but with a name like that, you assume that it's referring to the protagonists.
No, you don't.
I do. Shrug. Get verbally shrugged. Moving on.
Moving on to
Your least favorite scene.
least favorite scene, it has to be the diner scene with Obi-Wan and whatever the
Dude,
fuck that
yes.
fat alien
What
was.
is that?
There was a lot,
Who is that for?
I'm throwing out a lot of alien hate in this movie.
Yeah, babe,
The
you're being kind of
Geonosians,
speciesist.
man, fuck them bugs, bro. The
Fuck them
Geonosians are
bugs.
ugly as shit.
Dude,
Dax or Dexter, whatever the hell
I
he
don't
is,
even know.
ugly as fuck. Looks like Bob from Bob's Burgers if he was an alien.
The Geonosians, their language is so terrifying to me, like deeply
You can learn it.
terrifying. Yeah, there's this dude on TikTok who learned it. It's so scary to me, and
It's pretty
I
cool.
cannot handle it.
For a bunch of ugly space bugs, they're pretty dope. But I do, no, I always found the Kaminoans unsettling. Like as a kid, things with ginormous eyes really kind of freaked me out,
That's
right?
fair. That's fair.
Like I was legitimately like terrified of my
Oh,
cousin Regina when I was a kid because she has really big eyes. Like I would hide behind my mom. She'd be like, "Oh my god, how's it going?" I'd be like, "Ah."
her listening to this, like, what the fuck?
Oh no, she knows. It's like
Okay.
it's a running joke. She's like, "Remember you used to be scared of me when you were a kid?" I'm like, "Yeah." I got
Yeah.
over it. It was like a year or two that I was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?"
I thought that my cousin's name was a dolphin for a couple of years.
We're just gonna put a pin in that because that is what I don't even know where to begin. I would rather get led into battle by Mace Windu than have to deal
Bro,
with.
can you imagine watching your dad get fucking decapitated?
I mean, can you imagine getting to then hold your father's head afterwards?
Yeah, and like it was nothing.
I like the meme where it shows like this is what really would have happened, and it's just Django's head falling out of the
Yeah, right?
fucking helmet.
Wouldn't
Oh my god, that armor's pretty dope though.
it's very
It's
dope.
pretty
It's
all
very
that if he had best scar around his neck, wouldn't have happened.
dope.
I'm just saying if it was our boy Mando, I think Mando takes Mace Windu, honestly. Like
How old is Mando at this point?
Mando as he is right now, he's probably like mid to late 30s, early 40s.
No, like in Attack of the Clones.
Oh, I don't think he's alive
No,
yet.
he would
No,
be.
I think he's like no, no.
Because he's around Boba Fett's age, so he'd be like a kid right now.
No, I think he'd be like either a fresh newborn or like maybe a year or two old. Because I think the flashback sequence where it shows, like the Mandalorian saving him from getting smoked by a super battle droid,
Yeah.
I think he's like 5 or 6. Because he gets taken in and he swears the creed. So he's at least old enough to comprehend words and talk and hold a conversation.
Well,
Because remember, you have to be able to speak.
that's the crux of the issue is that the Mandalorian wasn't here yet.
Yeah.
That's the whole problem.
Like I'm saying, Mando smokes Mace Windu.
Yeah, fair.
Your least favorite scene, what was that?
No, well, it was also the diner.
Oh, it was also the diner
Also the
scene.
diner.
And then honestly, even like the final duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Count Dooku, obviously we get to see like the full, I guess, the full journey of Anakin's arrogance, right? Because he gets
Yeah.
very humbled in this. He stays getting humbled in this movie,
Yup.
getting shut down by Obi-Wan, getting shut down by Padme, getting
Yup.
shut down, and by shut down I mean his fucking hand gets sliced
But
off
literally, can you
by
imagine
Count
getting your
Dooku.
fucking hand cut
I
off?
mean, at least with a lightsaber, it gets
No, it's
cauterized
just it's
instantly.
no, just the embarrassment.
I can't tell
Like, the
you.
fucking embarrassment that I would feel.
Well, he's an inferior duelist at that point. He has all that power, but nothing has really refined it at this
Yeah,
point.
he's not very form
Well,
foreign right now.
no, he does have refined, like he does have a refined form. He is an excellent duelist. It's just he literally lets his emotions and everything just fuck him up.
Motherfucker got
Honestly,
angry.
if he was, like the Jedi that everyone was thinking that he was supposed to be and that he thought he was supposed to be, he would have absolutely wiped the floor with Count Dooku in episode 2.
I believe it.
But he had to take that humiliation, take his hatred for receiving that humiliation,
Yeah,
and
it's a
use it to
very
kill Count
important part
Dooku in
of
the
his
third one.
character.
It is a
Yeah.
very much important part of his character, and one that the Emperor planned out entirely.
Lost my mom, lost my hand. Shit just keeps sucking more and
Oh my
more,
god.
dog.
But the arena scene was very good, right there. The entire logistical nightmare that Geonosis was,
Padme!
aside seeing the emotional freak out he has when she falls out of the
Oh my
gunship,
god,
and he's like,
yes.
"We need to go down right now," right?
Yeah.
You gotta the mission comes first,
I
dog.
like
Like,
because I don't know if this is correct, but this is how I remember it. Is that he's like freaking out on the ship, and Padme's just like, "Oh shit, okay, I'll wait here."
no, because she's unconscious for a bit in the sand, remember?
Oh yeah,
And
and then
then
she gets
the
yeah.
clone gets up and he's like, "My lady, we have to keep moving." And what's funny as hell is that even after freshly having the clones for like all of 5 seconds at this point, not a please,
Nope,
not a thank you,
nope.
dude. Like, honestly, chips aside, I would be itching to shoot one of these motherfuckers. Like, oh my
Just
god.
rude, and they're all fucking. No, I'm a Jedi Master. Okay, Pasho, fuck you.
All right, like no remorse. Like, I know they're clones, right?
And they're also out
And
on
they're
the town for
genetically,
the first time
yeah,
ever.
they're
Their
genetically
30-day life.
engineered to you know,
Listen,
not have like PTS, not really care if one of your brothers gets shot down in front of you, right?
it's you. It's literally
But
you're
like, yeah,
watching
like,
you die
yeah,
over and
but like the
over.
fucking Jedi could show a little bit of sympathy, but that is another critical,
Factor.
no, like a critical flaw
Yeah.
of this generation of Jedi, at least with the Council. They are so far detached from
Yeah.
everything,
Do you
right?
think that? Do you
Because
think
it's
that
like
Jedi Master Luke Skywalker would talk to these clones this way?
well, I mean, Jedi
No.
Master Luke Skywalker before Disney got a hold of him would
Yeah.
not talk to the
The
clones this way.
real
The real
Jedi
Luke
Master Luke
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
The one Mark Hamill is like,
I am normal about
yeah.
Luke Skywalker.
But what was I gonna say? Like I always say, to be detached from something, or to not let the loss of this one thing control you, doesn't mean that you stop caring
No.
about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that all of that aside, I am just completely ready to just shut this movie out of my mind until we have our yearly Star Wars marathon in a few months,
Yup. Yep.
right?
Yup.
Um, what else? What are some of your final thoughts
Final
on this
thoughts.
movie? Were you
I like the buggies when they go to crawl on Padme. I think that's fun.
really,
I think
you of all people?
see, listen, I like the noises scratch and itch. Yeah.
Oh,
I
is there
like
something you're not telling
how
me?
no. I like how the changeling, I like how her last words are stupid.
Oh, she
Um
calls him a slimo.
yeah, I'm like, okay, you got it, bro. Uh I like how they're running. I like the death sticks moment.
Oh, the cigarettes.
I
That's
love
funny as hell.
Obi-Wan. Always love this is peak Jesus Obi-Wan too.
Honestly, it's like I said, their actors are so good and they're trying their best
They're
to act,
so
except
good.
for Samuel L. Jackson.
Ex-
And like they're just like the whole time. It seems like they thought they were gonna have a box to work with, and George Lucas just gave them a square.
yes, I think yes. Yes, I agree because like
This is the equivalent of typing
they're
a
so good.
this is the equivalent of typing a 10-page paper for your class, right? As part of a presentation, but during the presentation, they only let you use a note card.
Yeah.
One note
No, no,
card.
no. This is the equivalent of they started to make the movie and they had everything ready and they had the cast and they had all the shots and they had all the props and everything, and then the writer's strike kicked in and they had to use AI.
You know what? They've actually Disney's done that. They got caught using AI in like something that they already did.
Cowards.
Just pay your people, dude. But
Anyway,
anyway, my
what's your
love,
final score?
I was gonna ask you the same
Like you're
thing.
you're the one who's like you're hosting.
Yeah, you're hosting. So
Hmm.
what's your final score? Because I always go first.
My final score is a 7 out of 10.
A 7 out of 10.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I did say in the previous episode that I don't rate the prequels anything below a 7, but if there's one thing that people know about me on this podcast, I am not consistent at all. After, like, honestly, I've been thinking about it because, like, usually we rewatch the movie, so it's fresh in our mind.
Yeah.
When we were doing that, I could not, I was just not in the mood. I could not pay attention to that fucking movie because I already want to know everything about it. Like.
And that's an issue I've been having with Star Wars, especially lately, is that I was so consumed by it for so much of my life that now when I try to rewatch it, I can't fully focus on it. Like I need to also have my phone.
Oh no, see, I only feel about that with Attack of the Clones, The Last Jedi, and Empire Strikes Back. A lot
God,
of
I love
the
Empire.
the middle
God, I
the
love
middle
Empire.
entries in the Star Wars trilogies really just
You're
fucking
not a big middle
suck.
guy.
I'm not no, some movies
No,
I
I
like
mean in Star Wars. Though.
yeah, no, in Star Wars not absolutely not, but I was gonna be like comparison like Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, love it. John Wick 2, love it. You know what I mean? Cars 2, I don't
Oh,
mind it.
I have one more thing to say. Is that Across the Stars is the greatest love theme ever written. Thank you, John Williams.
I
It
thought,
was the first ever ringtone that I purchased, and I still have it.
what is it? Born too late to explore the world, born too soon to explore the cosmos,
Yep.
born just in time to have paid 99 cents for a ringtone.
I paid $1.20.
Holy fuck.
I
You know that
I
audio
wanted Across the Stars.
that audio quality must have been
You've heard
fucking
it.
crisp
You've heard it.
on that
That's
Razer phone, dude.
oh no, it was my freaking it was my iPhone 5C, the cheap plastic colored ones. I got
Oh.
it in yellow.
Ugh.
And I bought that, and it was my favorite thing, and it still is. I think my mommy's ringtone.
As
It's just so beautiful. That and Princess Leia's theme, I think, are the
as
best
as
scores of Star Wars.
as much shit as I gave Apple for so long, and I still continue to do so
As you
because
should.
I
As you
just
should.
I just have it out of necessity, not out of a really inherent want,
We
right?
know, my love.
Because the rectangle is gonna rectangle. I am very glad that I wasn't like every other dumbass hoe, right? During this time, they went absolutely ballistic when the C's came out. They're like, "Oh my god, it's so like no."
Yeah, my dad was like, "Hey, I got you an iPhone." And I was like, "Fucking what?" I came home from school and there it was sitting in all of its yellow glory. It was my first ever iPhone.
Oh my god,
My upgrade from a flip phone, babe. I had a
I had
flip
a
phone in 8th grade.
I had a
Do you
Huawei.
know the humiliation?
I had a flip phone in eighth
Yeah,
grade.
yeah, but was it more normal? Or did other kids have
Oh
flip
no,
phones?
no, I didn't have a flip phone. It was still like a normal like brick phone, but it was one
Yeah.
of the ones that had a full keyboard on it.
Everyone in my school
Um,
had an iPhone or an Android.
I think my first
And
touchscreen
I had a fucking
was
flip
it
phone.
was this really tiny thing, right?
Devastating.
It was from Metro. It was literally about this big. And for those
Yeah.
of you that can't see it, and you do like it's about yay big, and like your thumb and your index finger, you just spread it apart. It's like that. It was by Huawei, right? Huawei or
Okay.
IE.
Yeah.
And it was called like the Comet or something.
Okay.
And it was a little touchscreen. It had an answer and end call button and a
Ooh.
little circle in the middle. That's what you could still use to select stuff if you
Nice.
wished, right? Like a home button,
Yeah.
basically. I had that, right?
I don't know what kind
My
of phone
boy
mine
showed
was.
me the C and he was like, dude, check this out, right? And I was like, that is the ugliest fucking phone
Shut
I've ever.
up.
No, because he was trying. No, and
Hater.
he'd say that he's like, well, look at the little fucking thing that you have. I was like, I bet you if I dropped this bitch right now, it wouldn't shatter.
Yeah, I dropped mine
And
on.
that shut his
No,
ass
I
up.
dropped my 5C on the carpet and it shattered.
This was still the
I
era.
had to fix my phone screen 7 times.
Yeah, so this is the era of like when your
My
friend
poor
drops
dad.
the Android and the battery slides out across the room, right? And
Yeah.
it's like that's the ghettoest shit ever. I didn't have to replace my whole damn phone.
That's what I thought would happen when I dropped it. Because I dropped I dropped it in the bathroom. So it landed on the little tile. And I thought that it was going to do what my slidey phone did, where the battery just pops out and you're like, oh, whoopsies, my bad. And you put it in and it's kind of annoying, but it's fine. Nope. I was like, what the fuck was that?
You know,
Because
babe,
nobody else had an iPhone.
I just realized that we're still recording, right? So I'm gonna wrap it back
Oh,
up
God.
to Star Wars. This movie Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones is the C series from iPhone of the trilogy.
Okay.
And with that, I'm going to give you my rating. The movie's a solid 6.
Oh, fucking
The
cowardice.
movie is a solid 6.
Boo.
You still no, listen. If 5 is neutral to where if it's on, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna say I don't want to watch
Okay.
it. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
6 is it's still slightly like it's slightly above. Like it's still entertaining. Like it's slightly above just enough to hold your
Upper
attention. You know what I
mid.
mean? Like for example, right? You go home,
I
right?
love being home.
Like you go home and like all of your family's there, right?
Okay.
Especially your family that doesn't really have like like there's always someone in your extended family that doesn't fucking like have any type of taste in movies.
Yeah.
Like it's summertime and everyone's like, let's watch this. And they're like, actually, let's watch The Sound of Music or some stupid
Hey,
fucking
I
shit
love
like
the
that.
sound of
Listen,
music.
listen, listen, listen. And they're like, let's watch The Sound of Music or some fucking shit. Or they're like, I only watch, fucking
Horror
I
movies,
no
Isaac.
they're like, I only watch foreign film or something like that. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
ew.
Attack of the Clones is that person as a movie. I don't know. It's slightly above entertaining. Like I still get some enjoyment because it's Star Wars and I like everything that is Star Wars, despite
Yeah.
how much shit I talk about it. And like we keep saying, the actors are phenomenal. It's just the failures from their directive staff that have like done this. Like as a kid, I was like, this is dope. Like seeing Yoda go against Count Dooku. It's fucking
And
amazing.
I also
Seeing
like how he
Padme
asks
shoot all
the
those damn space bugs and shooting all the droids. It's fucking amazing. Getting to see Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship mature throughout the movie and lead into what it will be in the third one is really amazing, right? But just oh my god, man.
I
It's
really
like you have to
like
look yeah, you have to really like look at this fucking movie
yeah.
in order to like actually see all that.
I like I didn't mention this, but I also like the part where they're asking where Obi-Wan's like, "Hey, there's an entire planet missing from the archives. I just thought you should know." And Yoda's like, "Huh. Well, let's pull up the map." And he's like, "Hey, younglings, why is all the gravity pulling in this spot?" And the youngling's like, "Oh, because there's a planet there." And he's like, "Oh, how interesting the mind of a child is." He answered a question, Yoda.
That's what he's saying.
No,
He
but
no,
what?
it wasn't to make fun of the child or anything. He's just saying
Oh,
it's like, yeah, no, like it's an impartial view. You know, like how kids are brutally honest, right? Like if a kid
oh.
tells you you're ugly, you're fucking ugly.
I thought that he was like mildly clowning on him, like,
No.
"Oh, the mind of a child," and I was like, "Bro, he answered your question."
No, it is kind of with the tone of kids say the darndest things with
Yeah,
their zip zops and their boobity bops,
yeah,
right?
and their mind
And their
jobs.
pudding pops, right?
Yeah,
But I don't know. All I know is that the librarian was just gaslighting the fuck out
she
of
was
Obi.
such a
If
bitch.
it's not in our records, it doesn't exist. I don't know. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure that
elitist.
like tiny lizard on planet fuckboy in the Kelptron sector isn't in there. So you tell me that don't
I mean,
exist?
to be fair, the Jedi archives are canonically the culmination of all knowledge ever. It's like the equivalent of the Library of Alexandria.
Exactly. But leave it to the Jedi or leave it to the folly of any like
What did they do with it
fictional
after the Jedi
or
fell?
non-fictional person, right? To believe that their amass of knowledge is the most complete.
They probably burned it down, huh?
I mean, I don't know. Probably deleted
You'd
it,
have to because that's
they
how you.
kept it or something like that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, we will see you guys next time. Make sure to follow us on TikTok.
Yay!
Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Throw us a
Yahoo!
review here on
Only
Spotify.
if it's
You
above
know what I
5.
mean? We're kind of clamoring through this episode, but that is what you've come to expect from us as a podcast. Also, quick announcement.
Merch.
We
I'm
are
kidding.
no,
I'm kidding.
we are considering because I'm still kind of up in the air about it of officially moving our release dates to Monday. The way
Monday.
our work schedules are out, we're just kind of burnt out when it comes to the end of the week, and we really don't get to record throughout the week these days.
Because we
We
have
just keep we
jobs.
just keep pushing it back, but tentatively we're considering switching to Monday. We will let you guys know in the next episode of our actual podcast,
Yes.
which it's actually going to be structured this time. It's going to be one of our guided discussions, and you guys will see why either on Saturday or
On
this coming
Monday.
Monday, and then that will be your, validation that we have moved the release date. But anyway, thank you for listening, and we will see you guys next time
Bye
when
bye.
we talk about the Phantom Menace.
Oh, we're going backwards.
Well, I mean, we kind of have to.
Yeah, we've done the other
Well,
2.
after our podcast episode this Saturday or Monday, the next movie we're going to be talking about is The Phantom Menace,
God,
and
I
I'm going to
love Darth
have
Maul.
all the juicy details for you guys.
God, I
We'll
love
see you
Darth
next
Maul.
time.
Bye.